Are you looking for another way to spend your time thinking about movies and television?
Then listen to Comment Section with Adam and Tyler,
where we'll talk about movies, TV, and comic books.
Hear us give rants about stuff we hate.
More often than not, we'll fall down the rabbit hole to never return, flowing off topic with questions like,
what's your Desert Island streaming service?
What's your Pixar character Avengers team?
What movie did you used to hate that actually is trying to seem pretty good?
And what's the best Batman suit?
Michael Keaton.
And other riveting rabbit hole questions.
We take entertainment to an unhealthy obsession.
So, if you want to fall down the rabbit hole with us, listen to Comment Section with Adam and Tyler.
On Apple Podcasts, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, so you were saying you found another guy?
2 of them. I've been watching YouTube videos and stuff, and this guy was talking about these 2 guys. Both of them have very weird fetishes. One of them goes really in detail about how he got his, and it's basically a story of being brought into the woods, drugged, then raped.
Oh.
And, just wait till you hear what it is. But, this other guy, though, never goes into detail about it and gets angry at people for making fun of him for it. So it's, these 2 guys, one of them has a fetish for bathroom floor tiles.
Bathroom floor tiles.
Yep, he likes the way they look, and he doesn't want to see them ever get dirty. He gets mad whenever you talk about him coming on the tiles, because he says he'll never do that.
Wait, hold on. So this is a sexual thing, then?
Yeah, he jerks off to bathroom floor tiles. He has a portfolio.
Why does this Why does this feel like you're secretly telling me a Howie Mandel story?
It's not. No, this guy's just actually like this, and like people were like, "Tile rapist guy," and he got really mad and just started like freaking out. And I was like, "How dare you guys?" It's like, "I'm not as disgusting as you with your cheap whores and stuff like that." It's like, what the fuck?
See, it's like a paradox, because if he was allowed to truly enjoy this to the fullest, he'd be able to make like a fleshlight out of bathroom floor tiles. But,
that's the thing.
But the enjoyment of that would necessitate damaging the thing that he loves most.
He has the thing is, though, the best part about it is that he's kind of a hypocrite, because he says that he hates the idea of getting the tiles dirty, but he has a portfolio like folder thing in his on his computer for naughty tiles, which are tiles that are dirty.
Oh.
I saw this whole thing. At the very bottom is the best thing. It's the universal. It's like the universal greeting, basically, for sexual things, and it's just thick. He likes thick tiles, also.
Jeez.
There's a universal constant in the land of sexual deviation, and it's thickness.
I feel violated having heard that.
Just wait. The next guy, actually did get violated. So this guy was talking. There's a game forum, and they're talking about weird things people did in video games and shit. I don't know how they got on the topic of this, but this guy comes out of nowhere, like right off left field, with like, "I have a fetish for the state of Ohio." And then that's all he said, and everyone's like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
What?
And he went into detail. Yeah, no. Like, he's like, "How do you have a fetish for a state of Ohio? I live in Ohio." And he's like, "I don't have a fetish for you, just the state. And let me explain." So he went on and explained how he has a fetish for the state of Ohio. And it is one hell of a doozy. So this story is basically him and his father are long hunters, which is a type of thing that happens in Ohio, I guess. I don't know exactly like the lore of it, but apparently he used to research it and found it like very interesting and all this shit. And like his father passed away, and he wanted to get more into log hunting and stuff like that, and like carry on the tradition or whatever. And so one of these guys who wrote books and stuff that he used to read was like coming to town for some reason, for like some like convention thing, and they were gonna have a big hunt afterwards. And he talked to this guy, and this guy is like a pretty chill dude, like they're having fun and talking and stuff. And they go on like this long hunt hike thing. And they're going around and stuff like that. And he talks to them. He's like, "Oh, we should do this again tomorrow." And everyone agrees to come back. And it's just this small group of people, like 4 or 5 people, I think he said. including him and this old guy. And this old guy is talking about like the history of the land and everything. And what happens is the next day, they're talking about stuff, and he's getting like really spiritual. He's like he's like Gary Busey, thinking that he's a Native American mystic. So it's just a crazy old guy going on and on about the spirituality of the land and shit like that. But it gets great because at one point they're like, "Oh, we're getting close to the nexus point of the realms and shit like that," or something weird like that.
Excuse me?
And they're like, "We have to jump this fence if we want to get there." And he's like, "I don't know if we should do this." I'm like, don't be a pussy. So they all go. Sorry, he was touching my ear in a weird sexual way, and I didn't like it. Anyways, though, so they're talking, and they're like, they jump over this gate and shit into like private property, and they go to the nexus point between realms or whatever they called it. And it's just like this lake, this little cave with a lake coming out of it. And this guy's talking about how like old long hunters would like they'd connect to the spirituality of the land and everything, and that with modernization it's hard to do and shit. And then he pulls out a bag of drugs. And so they all start taking the drugs and shit, including the Anon. This is Reddit's anonymous board, I should mention.
So you're telling me that in order to connect to the spirit world, it just so happens that brain-altering hallucinogenics help with that process.
Yes.
Strange how that works out.
It gets worse, though. So this guy goes around, gives everyone one, except for Anon, except for the guy with the Ohio fetish. He's like, no, you take two. And I should mention this guy's getting like real pervy with this kid. Like he's just like getting like real touchy.
The guy with the Ohio fetish is getting pervy.
No. The old guy that's talking to him. He doesn't have the Ohio fetish yet.
Oh, he doesn't have it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is his origin story.
This is the origin story. And like he's talking and stuff, and he's like, "Yeah, this is the spiritual connection of the worlds." And so he starts talking about like the history of the Ohio land, like the valley and shit. And he starts describing the crevices and shit like that. And while he's doing that, he was giving Anon a massage. Anon. And he starts fucking tripping. He starts seeing what the guy's talking about. He starts like tasting the air and like hearing the roar of the water and all this shit. He starts seeing Ohio. And then the guy starts jerking him off. Like completely unprompted, just starts like giving him a hand job while he's describing the valleys of Ohio and shit.
So what I thought was a villain is actually a tragic fallen character.
Yes, this old man completely destroys this poor motherfucker to the point that he doesn't know that his fetish for Ohio is basically his brain trying to like cope with this sexual trauma that just happened. And now the guy jerks off to the Ohio state.
So the guy with the Ohio fetish is aware of how it came about. He's the one that told the story.
He told the story. He understands how it happened and stuff like that. He just doesn't he doesn't know that the reason why it happened isn't that it was this like amazing eye-opening experience for him. It's because his brain literally fucking exploded after that. The guy
poor guy.
The guy got date raped into having an Ohio fetish, and he doesn't even know. But anyway,
I don't even know what to say to that.
Those are just some things I've been reading up on. The floor tile guy is great though, because he like is on and off again. He'll come in just to talk more about it, and then he'll get really mad because people call him a weirdo, and he gets really angry. He's like, "You guys are fucking degenerates," and he leaves. And it's like,
they're
I don't
degenerates.
Understand. Yeah, people who like human women and human men are degenerates compared to the guy that fucks the bathroom floor.
Right. Oh god, the internet is such a cesspool, honestly.
It's amazing.
Oh, he exposed himself to this criticism.
Yeah, and he gets mad about it. Like people kept egging him on to explain it more because this is how it happened. Like for that one, he opens up this thread with a question, with an opening of like a little bit of a story that it is vague and he doesn't give anything to. It's like, I came home today to my sister knocking on my bedroom door to shouting, "Hey Anon, your cum's on the kitchen floor. Go clean it up." And he's like, "Ah, shit, I don't want to deal with this right now. Give me some video game suggestions." And everyone, is more interested in, what the fuck, why are you jizzing in the kitchen?
Yeah, like how little self-awareness do you have to like get yourself into that situation?
The best part is he keeps talking about, like, at first everyone's like, "What the fuck? How do you why do you have a fetish for bathroom floors?" And he's like, "That's not the weirdest thing. Come on, guys. Other people have it. It's not that absurd." And then this guy, I love his response, is like, "Yes, that is pretty weird. And yes, it is that absurd. Please tell us more."
Yeah, this feels like a something that would get cut from like the Chappelle Show.
It's amazing. But like, he disappeared after a while because he got really mad and left. And then like 4 years later, he comes back just to talk to them. He's like, "All right, fine, guys, I've caved in. I'll tell you more about it." And then like he gets angry because they're making fun of him for sending him his spreadsheet with all of his little fucking files and like the pictures and like the names of them. Hold on, let me see if I can find it because it's amazing. Like they all have like they have names that you'd see in a porn folder, but like the preview image is fucking bathroom floors.
Oh jeez.
Floor tile guy.
I just feel sorry for these people because, like, what hope do you have to live a normal life after you are forced into an Ohio fetish and you have a fetish for bathroom tiles? How do you recover from that? What's your rebound?
You don't. None of them have recovered. This guy is thinking about the guy with the Ohio fetish is thinking about going on another trip with the other guy because he genuinely thinks that his newfound sexual awakening was fucking linked to this guy, like giving him a spiritual awakening and not, him literally fucking his brain to death. It's just insane. Hold on, I'm trying to find the fucking floor patterns guy.
So in this, when he told the story, his origin story for having the Ohio fetish, he framed it as like, yeah, the spiritual experience really like awakened something within me. And by the way, I was like being jerked off the whole time. But like,
he's talking everyone about it, like how it's like this weird thing, but like it awakens something in him, and he feels like he's more at one with nature and shit. But the guy was fucking raped.
So like, he included.
There's no sugarcoating it.
So he included the part about being jerked off by the stranger, but he doesn't connect the dots and think maybe this is a related event.
No, he knows it's related and stuff. That's the thing. He just thinks that it's like Stockholm Syndrome, where he doesn't think there's anything wrong with it and that the two aren't connected in a negative way. He thinks that they're connected because this guy is like showing him the glory of Ohio and shit, how beautiful it is, and how it's like this spiritual moment for him. And he just always had this weird thing that he never knew until then. And it's not, a bunch of acid and a rape story that fucked him for life.
Okay, so he recognizes that he was drugged and raped, but he just thinks it was a spiritual thing, so that makes it okay.
Yeah. He doesn't really like mention it as him being raped, but like he got drugged and the guy just started randomly jerking him off without consent. It's rape. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's
what
clearly
fucking Bill Cosby got sent to jail for.
It's clearly sexual assault.
I feel bad for the guy though, because it's like Harley Quinn syndrome, except for a guy in Ohio.
Mr. O.
Mr. O. The log hunters are here.
I love you, the entire state of Ohio. No. Okay, so you know how like when there's the cliche of like at the end of a concert, the band is like, "We love you, Cincinnati," but like this guy means it.
Yes. Oh. So I hope those two get together and they they
In a bathroom
have
in
a
Ohio.
kid somehow. Yeah. Yes. In a bathroom at an Ohio ski lodge or something, somewhere near the mountains. Because that guy talks about like how it's the fault lines and shit like that like get him off and shit. And he's like, he's not jerking off to the shape of Ohio. It's just the weird spiritual awakening shit he had during this rape scenario that he isn't putting together properly. He's like, yeah, this spiritual awakening I had with this group of people, and it was amazing. I know who I am now and all this shit. It's like, dude, you just got raped! And then the guy offered to do it again!
Jesus Christ.
Now he's debating on going.
Yeah, I mean, these people have no hope of like having a husband or a wife or, having a family because they got screwed into loving Ohio and bathroom tiles and Wonder Bread.
Even furries and vorophiles have a chance in life because at least those are semi-common.
And yeah, it's a community.
There's communities of those. Who the fuck has a state fetish community? Where is that at? I want to know. I want to meet these people. I want to talk to them. I want to understand if they're okay.
I mean, anything's possible. Reddit is a big place.
It is. It is a very big place. Full of horrors of the eldritch kind.
I'll tell you, though, there are a lot of very niche communities on Reddit. I don't remember where I saw this. There was a story that I saw on Reddit. It was either on Reddit or I just saw a screenshot of it. But it's kind of related to what you were talking about with fetish stuff. Where this guy was like, yeah, I think I know where my fart fetish comes from, which I do not understand personally. But I mean, I'm open-minded enough to read through the whole thing. And apparently this guy who is a grown adult now with a fart fetish, what happened to him was when he and his sister were kids, she would pin him down, put her ass in his face and just rip one. And it would he described in the story, yeah, they smelled awful. But he grew to love it.
Yeah. I mean,
and now he can't get off without a woman farting in his face.
But that's the thing, though. That's how a lot of those weird deviant fetishes are created. It's it's usually something in your childhood, and it's this thing that it messes with your brain. Your brain doesn't register it properly, or it registers it with too much affection, and it's
some Freudian shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing and really fucking weird.
Yeah, I feel so sorry for these people.
Especially the Ohio guy.
Imagine if these people do somehow find a partner and get married. It's you may now fart in the face of the bride.
It's a lottery with some of these things. And it's a lot of people get drawn the worst fucking card.
Yeah.
There's another guy, I just remembered, I forgot about this. A guy, this isn't, well, it is kind of sexual, but it isn't poor this guy kind of thing. It's more poor the family that has to deal with this. This fucking weird, creepy, incel, nice guy thing, man, he went insane or some shit like that and started thinking that God was sending him messages. And he was watching YouTube, and he was on Indian news at some point. He was watching these Indian news reels, and one of them that happened recently was that a little girl died, and she was hit by a car coming home from school or something. And this fucking freak of a man decided that this was his waifu this was the woman that he was destined to marry, this little girl. And so he just did a whole bunch of like weird shit. Like he stalked this family's Facebook. Like he made a fake Facebook account of this little dead girl. And he like started writing like fan fiction about the two of them. And it's like, what the fuck?
Oh, seriously?
What compels someone to do this? It's like this poor Indian family, if they ever catch wind of this, are gonna have to deal with not just the trauma of losing a fucking 6-year-old, but also the fact that there's some like weird necrophiliac pedophile like thirsting for her.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit that doesn't even get on to like Criminal Minds.
Yeah, because it's too much.
Yeah, as fucked as the stuff is on that show, like that's just a whole other level.
Like it's turning it up to 11, really. 11,000. It's just insane. It's like, who the fuck? Why the fuck? Some of that shit though, it's like, what? How are you not like in an asylum or something? You know, like a hospital or an institute of some kind.
Well, how do you even like help someone like that? First of all, they'd have to want
to be
really
helped. To help them, it's kind of just to help society in general at that point.
Yeah.
Like, get them out of here before they hurt someone. This guy wants to date a dead 12-year-old little girl. Or was she 6? It was 6 or 12. I'm trying to remember the exact number.
Yeah, it's either an age or twice that age.
Yeah, it was a little girl, okay? Little girl going to school. I wouldn't know because I didn't stalk her fucking Facebook page.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
But, no, it's just, like, people like that. Like, there's also that, what is it? The, another thing I was looking at. Oh, I wouldn't say looking at because, like, I want to gouge my eyes out after seeing what I saw, but this guy...
You were subjected to it. You didn't seek it out.
Yes, basically. I forget what his Twitter handle or DeviantArt handle or whatever, what his, like, actual name is, but it's this guy. We'll call him the Carpet Frankenstein Furry. Have you ever heard of a man like that before?
Please explain. I'm very intrigued.
So there's this absolutely fucking bizarre, like, insane man who like, he's just like the living definition of the furry deviant, basically. Like, he talks about how he wants to, like, how he fucks his dogs, how he wants to fuck dogs, and how he's, like, raped, like, 1-year-old puppies and shit. And it's like, what the fuck? Why? What compels you to say or do these things? And, like, this guy is so just, like, disgusting and horrible to be around that even other furries hate him. Like, there's a Reddit forum board thing, message board, whatever you call it, where these furries are talking about this guy, and they're talking about him in, like, such a horrible way. They're describing their encounters with him. And this group of friends apparently got stalked into an alley by him. And they had to, like, circle around and alert the police that this weirdo was following him and shit.
Oh, that's rough.
They're describing, like, what he looks like and shit like that. And this is kind of the grossest thing, because it's like... allow me to explain this before I use my analogy, because I feel like it's a perfect analogy. But he has his own persona, and he has a suit for it. And what it is the guy, instead of using normal sex toys and stuff, he fucks stuffed animals. And what he does is, if he destroys them, like over time, as they wear down and fall apart, he'll take the material from it and will cobble it together and make a suit out of it. And he doesn't clean it at all. He doesn't even shower himself. So, yeah, this man and his weird cum rag suit just shows up to the mascot outing, and it's like, what the fuck is happening anymore? Like, the pictures you can see of it just looks like something out of a fucking, like, horror movie. Like, it looks like something that a serial killer would wear and, like, stalk the fucking teenagers at some camp around in. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, how would you even make a movie like that? And like, you'd have to water it down so much to even allow it to be released. That's just such a... That's the kind of movie that like people would go insane making.
This motherfucker is like the ultimate villain. He's like a pedophile, zoophile, like fur monster thing.
Like,
all you have to do is like...
You'd have to get someone... You'd have to get someone with a lot of mental strength to play that character.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know who doesn't have mental strength. That guy. He's like fucking off the wall psycho, apparently.
Yeah, like, you know how there's that like rumor that Heath Ledger went crazy playing Joker?
If he played that guy, he would have.
Yeah, like that's the kind of thing that would happen.
I don't know, like when like you can find Encyclopedia Dramatica. I don't know if you ever use that. It's kind of like the bully version of Wikipedia, but they basically sum this guy up perfectly with like how they insult him and shit. And like they have quotes that he's made on message boards and shit about him like talking about the stuff he does, and it's all like these horrible shit. It's like, who would like side with this guy on any topic? Like he's like a few steps away from just saying we should turn babies into pipe bombs.
Oh.
Like I swear to God, this guy is like...
Yeah, the internet is a cesspool. But I mean, it's not... this isn't a new thing, even. Like, there's always been all kinds of fucked up stuff like that just manages to go out into the ether of, you know, public consciousness. Like, there was this book that was written in... It was pre-internet for sure, but it was somewhere around like the 70s, I think. I saw a video by a YouTuber called Thought Slime that he did a video on this, and it's basically regarded as like the Nazi Bible, where it's written as in the perspective of like a diary of this, basically like a neo-Nazi. It's set in the 90s, which then was like the sort of distant future. And it just goes into detail giving accounts of these domestic terror attacks that this guy does. And it goes into detail of like how he improvises like pipe bombs and shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. There were, I forget which one it was, which is sad, honestly, but there was one of the mass shooters in the last few years that credited this book as like one of his inspirations.
Was it fucking Elliot Rogers?
It was one of them. I mean, this is like a common book among that hateful ilk, the neo-Nazi types.
Yeah.
So yeah, this shit has been around for a long time.
Man, I guess just communicating with people was the first step in the wrong direction.
How far back do you think this goes, though? Like, how many like cave paintings do you think there were? How many cave paintings with like
cave painting
depicting like
there's like
decapitations and stuff?
There's a caveman painting of big caveman with big muscles and tiny brain surrounded by women, and caveman with little muscles and big brain who's surrounded by nothing.
Whatever the equivalent of Wonder Bread was back then.
Just fuck it. What would that be?
Like a soft-looking rock, I guess, or like a whole elk leg.
Busty woman holding an elk leg.
Actually, come to think of it, that's something you'd see like on the wall at like Joe Rogan's house.
Yeah.
Hell, I would put that up if I found it somewhere. If I was at like a rummage sale and I just came across a painting of a busty woman holding an elk leg like that. It would be for different reasons, obviously. It would be out of a sense of morbid curiosity. that I would keep it and display it proudly in my home. But still,
Morbid curiosity.
Yeah, extremely morbid curiosity.
This truly is the darkest timeline.
With Heath Ledger, that rumor that he went crazy playing Joker, that journal that he kept and stuff. Yeah, that he didn't go crazy. Like, he did that to get into character. I thought it was true for a while, but apparently, like, his family keeps getting asked about it, and they're like, no, he didn't go crazy. He didn't kill himself because the Joker made him go crazy. Like, stop asking us about this and stop bringing it up. Like, this guy died. And you think it's because of a comic book character?
Yeah, no, it's very just, like, kind of messed up.
It's insulting.
But from what I remember, though, like, the reason he died is it wasn't even a suicide. It was like it was an overdose, antidepressant. Yeah, but like the thing was, it was like an accidental overdose or some shit like that, or like something was like mixing up wrong. Because I remember, like, the story goes that he was like on antidepressants or something, and he had to take something else, like sleeping medicine or some shit like that, and he took too much or something, or like it mixed with the antidepressants. And like reacted negatively and like just killed him. Yeah,
such a tragic loss. He was pretty young.
Oh, yeah, no.
Wasn't he like in his 20s?
Fuck, I think so.
Yeah.
He was one of the fucking best actors. Loved him in Knight's Tale.
Yeah, he was pretty versatile.
Oh yeah, he could be bad guy, good guy, side guy, hot guy, cold guy.
Yeah, it's just a shame that drugs take so many lives, and I don't mean like cocaine and heroin. I mean like legal shit.
Oh yeah, no, it's insane. Like,
yeah, like
it's not even intentional. It's just
how is it even legal? How is it legal to prescribe someone like OxyContin?
Yeah, it's because like you're supposed to tell them, take this dose. Don't do anything. Don't go over it. If you go over it, you'll die.
Just take a little bit of this highly addictive chemical.
Yeah, no, it's stupid, but like that's
like
their safeguard.
That's like in the 80s when everyone was like, no, it's safe if you just do a little bit of cocaine.
It's safe if you just drink this Coca-Cola. There's no addictive chemical added to it.
Everything is safe in moderation. But the trick is, it's not designed to make you want moderation.
Yeah. Oh, God, I tell you. People think the world's gone to shit now. It's always gone to shit. I don't think it was never not shit.
It's because of all that damn Xbox.
Fuck off.